Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. RHOC's Heather Dubrow slammed for dodging question about Alexis Bellino. She's afraid to speak the truth. Heather Dubrow has been close friends with Alexis Bellino for years before her Real Housewives of Orange County return, but is it clouding her judgment? Social media users claimed it was true after Heather refused to answer a question about Alexis and her fiancé John Jansen. Now she's getting dragged online with viewers claiming that the brunette beauty is afraid to speak the truth about the couple. The question that got Heather in trouble addressed Alexis' revelation that they had videos of Shannon beat her that could ruin her life. Viewers have accused the pair of trying to extort and blackmail the 60-year-old since the revelation came after she refused to repay an alleged $75,000 loan. Shannon's lawyer told her in episode 11 that John was holding the videos for blackmail purposes, or as claimed by his legal team as some sort of insurance policy. However, when asked about that, the RHOC star refused to comment and viewers called her out. Heather Dubrow dodges question about Alexis Bellino during her WWHL appearance. Heather Dubrow was a guest on the September 19 episode of Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, and she got herself in hot water with viewers. When a fan asked, "What do you think of Alexis threatening to release videos of Shannon? Does it feel like extortion?" Heather was visibly uncomfortable. After Andy read the question, she responded, I just don't really want to be in the middle of all of that, and I just don't know." RHOC viewers drag Heather for refusing to speak out. Heather's response was posted on the WWHL Instagram page, and the RHOC star is getting a ton of blowback. "Lost respect for her. Clearly this is wrong. She's afraid to speak the truth, wow," wrote a commenter. "Come on Heather, grow a backbone. You know it's wrong and Alexis is being cruel," added someone else. "I'm so sick of people refusing to take sides. Taking sides implies there's merit to each argument," reasoned a frustrated RHOC fan. "This is just wrong or right. Alexis is wrong and wrong for this show. Grow a pair." A commenter exclaimed, "She doesn't know? Wow. No backbone at all for sticking up for what's right. Tacky." Another added, "Total disappointment. WTF? You could have done the right thing. Yes, Heather, it's wrong, and yes, it's extortion. Hope Shannon sues anyone who gave a platform to this mess." In the glamorous and cutthroat world of the Real Housewives of Orange County, RHOC, drama is never in short supply. But recently, one particular incident sparked a firestorm of backlash among fans and co-stars alike. The drama unfolded when Heather Dubrow, known for her sharp wit and no-nonsense attitude, was called out for sidestepping a question about former cast member Alexis Bellino. The result? A wave of criticism accusing Heather of being afraid to speak the truth. It all started during a cast reunion event when the women were rehashing old wounds, as they often do. The tension was palpable as Andy Cohen, the show's host, brought up the subject of Alexis Bellino, the devoutly religious and somewhat naive housewife who had left the show years earlier. The mere mention of Alexis stirred up the group's collective memories of past confrontations, alliances, and betrayals. As Andy turned to Heather with the burning question, "Heather, what are your thoughts on Alexis these days?" the room seemed to freeze. Heather, always the poised and polished housewife, took a long pause before responding with what many felt was a rehearsed and carefully crafted answer. I don't really have anything to say about Alexis. We're both in different places in our lives and I wish her well." But that wasn't enough for the viewers and certainly not enough for Heather's fellow housewives. A calculated deflection? The moment Heather uttered her vague response, the side eyes, exchanged glances, and raised eyebrows from her co-stars were impossible to miss. Tamra Judge, never one to shy away from calling out perceived inauthenticity, immediately leaned forward and chimed in, "Really, Heather? Nothing to say? Come on, we all know there's more to it than that." Gina Kirschenheiter, always the voice of reason, nodded in agreement but maintained her diplomatic stance. "It just seems like there's some unfinished business there," Gina added cautiously, throwing Heather a lifeline that she didn't take. Heather smiled coolly, her perfectly manicured fingers tapping lightly on her lap. "I really don't think there's anything more to discuss. We've all moved on. But the fans weren't convinced. Social media exploded with accusations of Heather dodging the question and refusing to address deeper issues. #RightOakReunion Heather is dodging again. Why can't she just say how she really feels about Alexis? One fan tweeted, while another chimed in, Heather is so calculated. She's afraid to speak the truth because she doesn't want to ruffle feathers. The Alexis Bellino effect. Alexis Bellino's time on RHOC may have ended years ago, but her legacy still lingers. The Jesus Jugs nickname, a term Heather herself once allegedly supported, became a defining moment in Alexis' tenure. The term was coined by Tamra Judge but echoed throughout the group, cementing Alexis as the religious housewife who often seemed out of place among the more progressive and fast-living cast members. Many fans remembered Heather's dismissive attitude toward Alexis during their time together on the show. The tension between the two was palpable, and viewers felt that Heather, with her air of superiority, often looked down on Alexis. So when Heather dodged Andy's question, it felt to many like a continuation of the same old Heather, avoiding conflict publicly while harboring private judgments. Heather thinks she's above all the drama, but her silence speaks volumes, one fan commented in an online forum. She's afraid to speak the truth because she doesn't want to come across as the villain. Co-stars weigh in. Heather's deflection didn't sit well with everyone, and it wasn't long before her co-stars began to speak out. Tamra, never one to miss an opportunity to stir the pot, addressed the issue in a later interview. "Look, we all know Heather can be a little calculated," Tamra said, her tone dripping with sarcasm. "She doesn't want to get her hands dirty, but sometimes you have to, especially if you're going to be real on this show." Alexis wasn't everyone's cup of tea, but she was real. Heather just can't handle that. Emily Simpson, on the other hand, was more sympathetic but still critical. "Heather is very careful with her image, and I get that. But sometimes it comes off as inauthentic, especially in a group where we're supposed to be sharing our true feelings. If she has something to say about Alexis, she should just say it." Even Shannon Beater, who has had her own share of ups and downs with Heather, weighed in. "It felt like Heather was just trying to stay neutral, but you can't be neutral all the time." Alexis was a big part of the show, and it's weird that Heather didn't acknowledge that. Heather's fear of backlash. Why then did Heather choose to dodge the question? Some speculate that Heather, who has built a brand around her family's wealth, health, and upper-class lifestyle, feared the backlash that might come with rehashing old feuds. After all, Alexis had undergone significant personal changes since leaving the show, including a high-profile divorce and finding new love. Criticizing her now could come across as petty or unsupportive of a fellow woman's growth. But others believe Heather's reluctance to speak openly about Alexis stems from her fear of being perceived as the villain. Throughout her time on RHOC, Heather has walked a fine line between being the classy housewife and the one who looks down on others. She's been called out for being condescending, and any further remarks about Alexis could have reinforced that image. Heather wants to be seen as the elegant, drama-free housewife, but that's not what this show is about, one critic wrote. She's afraid to speak the truth because she doesn't want people to see her as the mean girl she sometimes is. The verdict. As the dust settles, one thing is clear. Heather Dubrow's decision to dodge the question about Alexis Bellino has only fueled more drama. Whether she was trying to protect her image, avoid reopening old wounds, or simply didn't care enough to engage, her calculated response has left fans, and her co-stars, unsatisfied. In the world of the Real Housewives, where transparency and conflict are the name of the game, Heather's reluctance to